Northwest of Wilkesboro is the community of Austin and the Austin Volunteer Fire Department, Station 34.
We serve about 1,600 people. We all know one another in this community. We got wonderful churches, wonderful people.
The station has come a long way since it was started in 1958. Today, with around 28 volunteer firemen.
We got about 12 first responders. We do run medical calls and fire calls.
Still, the Austin Fire Department is steeped in tradition. Today, the fire chief is Billy Van Hoy, grandson to its first fire chief, C.L. Poplin.
He was put in as fire chief in 1958, and he stayed fire chief until May of '92. He was the oldest acting fire chief in the state of North Carolina.
Oh, well, Mr. Poplin, he was an outstanding man from the day one.
But back in those days, we didn't have no protective clothing or thing like that. Just had to squirt water on it from a distance.
Technology may be more advanced, but 50 years later, many of the calls are still the same.
We've had calls to rescue cats out of the tree. We've had calls, trees in the roadway, trees across the house, and houses and stuff like that. So if there's anything goes on in the community that they need help on, they usually call here or up at Wilkesboro Comm Center 1.
And especially when there's a fire.
Several years ago, we had our first 2 fatalities. The house was gone when the call came in. When we arrived, the roof was falling in.
And for these calls, it takes a special volunteer.
Someone that is willing to dedicate their time, no matter if it's daytime, nighttime, snowing, rainy, or what, that when that pager goes off, that you know that they're going to be there if there's any way possible.
I see it as an honor to serve a community, and it's just a wonderful thing.
It's almost like being the heart of the community. You take the fire department out and it would kill the whole, everything we've ever worked for.
Boomer is a small farming community located about 10 miles southwest of Wilkesboro and named after its first postmaster, Ed Boomer Matheson.
Boomer's a little wide spot in the road, I would say. A lot of chicken farms, and churches, and just residential houses, and it's a good little place to live.
But they didn't have a fire department. That is, until 1973.
I found out that the county had let the rural areas know that they was going to have to set up their own fire department because North Wilkesboro and Wilkesboro would not be able to get out here in time to save anything much. So I got to thinking about it and decided to go ahead and call a meeting in Boomer Community Center up there.
Today there are 35 volunteer firemen in Boomer, including some junior firefighters.
I enjoy doing it. I get to do a lot of things, like riding the fire trucks, using the water hose, and give me something to do besides school.
My grandpa passed away, our grandpa passed away, I think 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And Boomer First Responders was on the scene. I think they tried to save his life, so I think I should return a favor to someone out in this world, try to save their lives, and that'd make me feel great.
And it's a caring attitude like that that sets these firefighters apart from the rest.
Outstanding, dedicated, very good group of individuals.
And those traits come in handy when the most serious calls come in.
We're the first line of defense that the citizens call. When they call 911, we're who they're going to get for anything except maybe a law enforcement call, and we're on a lot of those.
Even when the call means responding to someone they know.
That's the worst thing about volunteer fire departments. It's when we get the call, it's more than likely a neighbor or a relative, and that's what makes it hard if it's something bad. I mean, if we're going to help them and it's something that ends well, I mean, it's not that bad. But if it's one of those serious calls, a wreck, or a fatality of some sort, it makes it hard. Makes it very hard. Being such a small community.
But the Boomer Volunteer Fire Department prides itself on being there for its community, whenever and wherever it needs them, and with the latest technology possible to get the job done.
I try to keep our guys in the best gear, the best knowledge available, and the best apparatus that we can absolutely afford.
The Broadway Volunteer Fire Department is a long way from the bright lights of New York. It's here, in Wilkesboro, right where it has been for over 50 years.
We run to the town of Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro, and then run approximately 4.5 miles down 115 and the Speedway Road.
Today, the fire department has about 35 volunteer firefighters, as well as first responders, coming a long way since it was first chartered in 1958.
They just needed one. They'd had a couple of fires in the community and nothing, to put the fires out with. I can remember back when we didn't even have air packs to wear. And then we got 2 air packs, and then no one wanted to wear them. And then the training and the trucks has changed so much from this truck to the new trucks. Bigger, more pump, more hose, more equipment. Different types of equipment and stuff.
Even with new equipment, it takes a special person to enter a burning building.
Really, you don't think about it when you have the fires. You just automatically go do it. And there's a lot of training involved.
Training that takes place right at the Broadway fire station.
We built this and utilized it for a long time, and the training ground came about, and we built one at the training ground, and we use it now instead of this one. And we use this one once in a while.
Well, the state mandates we have 36 hours a year of training minimum, and this is part of our training. We don't really do much repelling for us per se on the scene, but it's good to learn ropes and knots and getting equipment up off a building or up to a building at a fire.
We know what each other's going to do because we train with each other, and we have a lot of requirements that the fireman has to meet, and they do. And we're just like one big family.
The Brushy Mountains are a spur of the Blue Ridge Mountains, with a close-knit community that calls them home.
Very rural community and scattered. It's somewhat more thickly populated now than it was in late 70s when we started.
One of the fixtures there is the Brushy Mountain Volunteer Fire Department.
This building used to be one of the school buildings here on the mountain. I think at the beginning it was about 5 schools scattered here on the mountain, about 100 in Wilkes County. And this was a 2-room building, classes from grades 1 through 8, I believe.
As one might imagine, brush fires are one of the department's top priorities.
We have a lot of woodland in our district, and it's a different situation to most of the other fire departments in the county, I think.
Knowing how to extinguish these fires quickly and safely is only one aspect of being a firefighter there.
There's a lot to being a volunteer fireman. There's a lot of training involved, a lot of time involved with doing it.
Most of the pluses are good feelings. We're not paid very much. Matter of fact, nothing, but you get a good feeling of helping your neighbor out.
It's one of the best feelings you can have, other than be like being in service almost. You look after each other and try to be assistants, protect each other.
But it's not to say the volunteers at the Brushy Mountain Fire Department don't know how to have a good time as well.
There's a lot more to it. We got the Apple Festival. We go sell apple pies. I've never had so much fun in my life. I do having, selling apple pies on the first Saturday in October,
And they're always looking for hardworking individuals to become a part of their large extended family.
There's always room for someone to help in doing many things that's required of the fire department, and it'll keep young boys. It develops strength and courage and discipline, like the service. It'd be an asset to any young fella or young lady to join the fire department.